first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh, oh.
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win.
He got it.
If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is July 25th. We are here live at the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Man, I nailed that last week, and we're back to square one. It's More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio.
It's fall camp. We're good.
It's fall camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, why not? We're training. We're really just trying to get ready for August, late August, early September. You got to get back into the groove, I guess.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more excited. It's one of those things. I mean, I guess fall camp means games, but I really just want to get to playing football now.
Yeah, it's like we're almost to August, which we play in August. So we're basically like really close to football season. That's girl math.
We've done a lot of girl math lately on this. Yeah, we talked about it, I think, on Sunday maybe, that while happy with Tony Vitello for getting us all the way to June, also mad. I feel like maybe he could have taken Tennessee to, what's the World Baseball Classic called? Maybe take them to the Olympics or something, to keep this train rolling.
Yeah.
And get us all the way to football season, because right now I can't do it. This is insane.
Yeah, we already got done with college baseball. Like, let's see how far we can actually go.
Sure. It's not enough for me to just conquer a nation. I want to conquer the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're addicted.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of the world, has Tony gotten to go to his vacation? Has he made it on his vacation to one of his many spots that he named?
Tulum was one of them.
Wow. Where's that at?
South America, I guess.
Is it?
Maybe.
I honestly have no idea. I was kind of. I would say I was quizzing you, but I honestly do not know.
Is it Italy?
Maybe.
No, it's Mexico.
Okay.
It is South America. So
smart. I'm sure it's a resort town that actually, who knows? I've never heard of it, so maybe it's not a resort town. Might just be a nice. Did Tony drop? Maybe he's getting paid by their tourism board.
Okay. He has his own NIL deal?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. No more NIL deals. Not going to be needed anymore. NIL's done. It's dead. Scholarships available for everyone.
Mm-hmm. I might get one.
Oh, it's going to be like the MLB draft, where everybody now is getting scholarships.
You get a scholarship.
Okay. Which the MLB draft kind of ruined that one. It's still long, but it's not so long that it's absurd anymore, and I miss that.
Yeah. It's just, you took the fun out of it. Now the 20th round doesn't mean anything. The 45th round didn't mean anything, but it was really cool to see some random guy get selected. You're like, oh, that guy probably never played baseball.
Fun fact of the day, I don't remember where I heard this. There was an NHL player in the first NHL draft. I guess they ran out of people to draft, and so they drafted a fake player. No one could figure out who this guy was.
Oh.
It wasn't real. I wonder how that's had to have happened in the MLB draft.
That scout's getting fired.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or who knows?
Well, I mean, the GM. You gotta go back and check your guy's work. You can't just take his word for it.
I don't know. Kind of to me sounds like that's on the talent development team. It's on the
There's
coach.
a lot of people that should be fired for that.
Because the scout found a guy that could have been. We never got to see what he could have been. I mean,
okay, I guess that's fair. I mean, he looks like a hockey player. Never seen him play.
I mean, there's been many people that have shown up to campus that we've never seen. You couldn't. J.J. Peterson's a great example.
Yeah.
Is he real? Was that a fraudulent signee?
What's he doing now? Do we know? Anybody know what J.J. Peterson's up to?
He got lost on I-40.
Is he coaching with Jeremy Pruitt, like that middle school girls basketball team? He's an assistant coach.
I kind of don't want to look up where he's at now because that may ruin the mystique of it a little bit for me.
Yeah, it's just fun to guess.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
He's not on campus. We know that.
Do we?
Maybe he is. He finally made it to campus when he's officially like out of eligibility. That sounds like something that would happen.
I think he could have been there the whole time. We never knew.
I don't know.
There should have been someone assigned to what? Yeah, sure. TMZ, like that kind of person. Follow them around. Paparazzi. Where is JJ Peterson?
Yeah,
Put the
we
search
can we
party
can
out.
track planes. We can't track a recruit.
Signing.
Yeah.
A player, some would argue.
Okay, so you're saying like you get a scholarship, like all these scholarships are being given out.
You also get
You get a tracking system.
You get a chip
Yeah.
behind your neck that is accessible on one of the many, maybe all of them, message boards.
I'm in.
There he is. He's at Cool Beans again tonight.
Shout out.
Yeah, Joey liked that one. I think he did that before I said Cool Beans. He knew what was coming.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Telepathy.
Got carried away.
There would be a lot of girls, jealous girls, I don't know if girlfriends is the right word, monitoring those accounts to see where said player was. It would create absolute mayhem, and I would love it.
Girls are already upset about Audrey in NCAA, dude. I don't.
About who?
About that girl in I guess the Road to Glory.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
ask-
Oh, I haven't
invite
played
you to a
Road to Glory.
party.
Everybody said it's trash, so I just haven't.
Don't
done
play
yet.
it. Yeah, you should. I didn't. I had to spend energy to tell her no. That's absurd. I should have had no energy. I stayed in. I didn't go party. Audrey's ruining my life.
Am I gonna get more scholarships on my dynasty?
Ooh.
You know, I can only
They're gonna have to.
You can
translate
still
to
only
the
have
game.
35 on the recruiting board at a time. You can't recruit more than 35 people. That's a rule, apparently.
Has anybody ever signed 35 like legit prospects?
You don't want to now with the transfer portal. Why would you?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I guess before like 2014, did anybody actually sign 35 people?
I probably did at some point because I get to a spot in the road where I literally just start handing out scholarships. I don't scout. I don't do anything. It is Oprah Winfrey. You get a scholarship. You get a scholarship. Oh, you had me on your board at some point. You get a scholarship. We're going. We're hitting them.
Okay, so you were just ahead of the game. Like now
Sure.
the NCAA just stole your idea.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny White steals all my. Well, I shouldn't say steals. We have a weekly conference call that we discuss all my grand ideas and make it happen. I will say I did not. Wasn't my insane idea to build a city on top of G10. That wasn't my idea. I don't know whose crazy idea that was, but I can't take credit for that one.
It looks pretty cool though.
It is. I guess let's talk about that before we get into the rest of the show. Do you feel like we're putting the cart before the horse a little bit? I know they're going to rebuild G10. They'll be parking for it, but there's no parking as is. And I know the draw is game days. That's when you want people there, but
When else?
if you want those places to stay open, if you want they have to be accessible and open at other hours, it just seems like a nightmare.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a nightmare. It's either going to be a nightmare on game days or a nightmare.
No, it'll be a nightmare on
All
game
the
days.
time.
It'll be a
Oh,
nightmare
yeah.
on game days.
Well, I'm thinking like, okay, so I assume prices are going to be insane at those places.
I think there'll be a handful, but at the same time, again, going back into the accessible part, they'll have to be good.
Throughout, because
Price
then no
places.
one will go there when it's not game
Well, that
day.
and then your primary audience will be students. Those are your target. That's your target.
So
customers.
Joey, you're a student. Would you see yourself like going to hang out down there other than the places you go now?
Well, I mean, that's why they have to market it as like something other than game days because, I mean, you think about a bunch of ballparks for baseball, right? There was always like a cool bar right outside the entrance, but people are there on Wednesdays, you know? It's
Right.
not just game days. If you kind of make that like a game day eccentric like plaza and like, I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to go to like, if it's that like hard to access, I don't think I want to like get down there on a Tuesday just to go have like some drinks and some food. Like I'd rather just go down Kingston Pike and go somewhere else. If it's going to be a nightmare to try to park down there.
And if it's absurdly expensive, you're going to skip
Right.
it altogether.
I mean, I assume it has to be somewhat reasonable, but it's also
Sure.
going to be elevated just due to, well,
I do have a good idea. I'm assuming with the popularity of Tennessee and Omaha now, Jello shots will be somewhere around there.
Okay.
Next idea, mechanical bull. That will get people in. Mechanical bull. Somewhere in that facility, you need a mechanical bull.
I mean, I think live music is a must somewhere.
You got.
That's gonna.
But
be, that's
there's
gonna
not a lot of
happen.
places that have live music like in the downtown area, right?
What?
No, you're right. No, well, do you mean campus or do you
Bars?
mean downtown?
Yeah, like campus.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
No, there's not
Yeah.
a lot of live music opportunities.
And that's usually like on Saturday nights when they don't need live music to draw
Right.
people in. But yeah, they're mostly have just exclusively become college bars / There's really no bars left actually. I don't know what I'm saying.
There is none.
So is this like we just moved the strip on top of G10?
I mean,
That's kind of cool when you think
But
about
rent's going to be so high that no good.
Yeah.
You're not going to get your
it. Who the heck is
Goalpost
staying
Tavern.
at that hotel is what I want to know.
it's hard to tell if the renderings, but like I can picture if they can make the bar scene a really good combination. I think it could be a success where it's like now you start drawing students towards that part of campus. Because if you think about it, during the weeks, there's not really reason to be over like by the
Right.
waterfront. There's nothing going on down there for a waterfront. I mean,
Joey, have you heard of Calhoun's?
yeah, okay, so Calhoun's, dude, the trek it takes me to get to Calhoun's.
I'm not.
to
I'm
wait
sorry.
45 minutes for. I mean,
I'm not. I'm not. I get it. You don't need to go to Calhoun's. I didn't
Right.
mean to put you on the spot. I was joking.
no,
For
I mean,
a lot
just
of reasons.
Closing off everything on the strip, you might as well take the
Yeah.
opportunity to like start opening some. Like I said, it's a dual kind of vibe.
Just feels like the bridge, the walking bridge, should have probably come first.
Walking bridge, big old parking lot across the. I mean,
Yep.
you look at every other like professional sport. I mean, that's how. You're gonna have to build a 2,000 spot parking situation over there. I know you have to be way more, but just start with
Yeah.
that. There's not a lot of room over there. There's a lot of hills, a lot of mountains.
Yeah.
They're,
Yeah, you're going to have to build up.
they're building more
garages.
apartments.
Right.
I don't know where everyone's supposed to park. Parking on campus isn't already an issue. The parking passes, I don't even want to start. I want to get. Never mind. I won't get into it because I'll get. We'll go on a tangent, and I don't want to do that.
Do you have a parking pass for next year?
It's gonna get here 5 days ground shipping. So
Wait, they have to ship your parking pass?
yeah,
Or is this a workaround you have?
no.
So
they
you
ship
live
'em.
in Knoxville,
Precisely.
and is there a place you can pick them up and you selected shipping?
To my knowledge, it just said put in your shipping address.
Am I
I
cor-
think
that
they ship them
seems
to everybody.
Absurd, right? If you're a student currently in Knoxville,
You think you could just go to the student union,
Correct.
which you can't get to because all the roads are closed around
True.
it because they're building 8 buildings at once. Which again,
True.
this is a good problem to have. Great, University of Tennessee's building, awesome, love it. I'm selfish. It's really annoying.
fair. No, I think
Do it
you're-
next year. I won't be here. It's not a problem.
There you go. I think that's the easy solution. Let us know what the shipping time is. I'm curious. Is it 5 days? Is it 7 days? Post office has been struggling lately.
It shipped yesterday. It said 5 days ground shipping. So which again, it's probably being packaged on campus,
Right, like a
And then
mile from you.
going probably to the UPS downtown, and then getting shipped to North Knoxville now. I can go pick it up, and we can avoid.
Sounds like a
hassles
waste.
for everybody.
But we got to employ people. You got to think about that. All the
True,
think about the
true.
jobs you created.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Shout out to University of Tennessee. Shout out to Joey Boots. We're stimulating the economy. That's what we're doing.
I like that.
Yeah, we'll talk some more SEC. We may get back into some. I mean, I feel like I'm shocked. I kind of forgot that got announced until we started talking about it. So we may talk about that some more. But stick with us. We're going to talk about some of the All SEC selections and some of the non-All SEC selections on the other side of this break. This is More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and
We're now talking all SEC. Obviously, you had some preseason all SEC selections. You had some snubs. Landon's got some grievances. He labeled this. He doesn't even want to honor those who made the SEC selections.
No.
He just wants to talk the snubs. He just wants to talk those who in the eyes of the media elite, did not make that list.
Yeah, I do have a couple bones to pick with a couple selections.
Can we give a shout out though to those who made it?
Yeah, we
talk
can do
about
it.
them a
Standing
little
O.
bit?
I think this is the
Okay.
first standing O we've done in this show before.
Okay.
So.
Clap it up. Clap it up. Everybody clap it up, please. Clap it up. That's for James Pierce and Cooper Mays, the only Vols who graced this all SEC list.
First team.
First team.
Yep.
Which is also wild that there was no one on. We'll get into that. Two very deserving guys, and very obvious candidates as well to be on this all SEC list. There's a lot of non-hype for Tennessee, and I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely under the radar, I feel like.
I hope it's under the radar. I hope it's not correctly put on the radar.
Yeah. Yeah, but I definitely think that is how Josh Heupel likes it.
He's him. He's not a very abrasive guy. Is that the right word?
Yeah. He's just like, oh, okay, yeah, we got 2. Cool.
Sure.
We'll have 5 on the real thing coming at the end of the
I think you
season.
should at least have 5.
Yeah.
I've got 3 names that that I think are obvious candidates to be on the list somewhere. I'm not saying they should be first team. I'm not even saying they should be second team.
Yeah.
I've got 3 that I think should be on that should have made the All SEC team somewhere. I think most will agree. I think again they're obvious candidates. How many do you feel that you're thinking those guys 100% should have been on this list? I don't know how they get taken.
I think 3. I think there's a case for 4.
Okay. Let me hear your 1-1. I think we're gonna have the same 1-1, probably the same 2, same 1-2, 1-2 at that point. Who's your guy?
1-1's Dylan Sampson.
Oh, I don't know how I forgot about Dylan Sampson. I've got 4.
Okay.
I know how I forgot about Dylan Sampson. That SOB took my job. That's how I forgot about Dylan Sampson. Yeah, I've got 4. Okay, I think that's a good 1-1. I still think I'm gonna keep my 1-1 though.
Okay.
Let's change it up. I think it's Amari Thomas. You're telling me he's not on the 3rd team All SEC at the very least? Bogus. Have you seen some of the offensive linemen that man's eaten up at his time at Tennessee? Again, I go back. We previewed the defensive line last week. He's not just a threat in the run game. Yes, the guy is excellent at plugging holes, at wreaking havoc at the line of scrimmage. He's excellent at that. That is his bread and butter. But the dude's speed off the ball, the dude's ability to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. Now, here's a thing I think he can get better at, but he's also got to have help at. I think he's got to get better at getting to the quarterback. But I also think that also relies on your ends, keeping the quarterback in the pocket, keeping him contained, allowing Amari. If your quarterback's not quicker than Amari Thomas, well, you're in trouble. So I don't know if that's O's fault.
Yeah.
But I do think he is a very, very well-rounded one technique.
Yeah, I had him as well, and the reason I have him as a snub is because there's literally a guy on the 3rd team from South Carolina named Tonka, and I think he's just on the list because he has a cool name.
That is a cool name.
But if we're looking at last year, Amari Thomas had more tackles.
And I don't think you just look at last year. I think you look at the potential for this year, but I don't know how you could say he's not going to be at least as good as he – and
Amari's been productive since he's been on campus, right. and he was at SEC Media Day, so I don't know how
they forgot about him.
Yeah, it's like how in the world? I mean, there's like what? Is there like 8?
There's a lot of defensive linemen, and when you look at, you mentioned last year, and I think that's obviously got to factor in. You know nothing currently about this year, but I think
there is 12 defensive linemen on all those teams, and none.
12 on every team?
No, there's 4 on every team. There's 3 teams.
No, like I said, I'm not pleading my case for him to be the first
team.
team.
No, but he should definitely have been.
He should be somewhere on there.
Yeah.
But I agree. You look at last year because that's all you know at this point. You look at their previous years, but I mean, yes, you look at what you perceive them doing this year, and I just don't know how you don't think Amari probably gets better. I talked about having the ends to help that interior line in the pass game, I think Tennessee's ends get better. In fact, you put James Pierce as a first-teamer. So you agree at some level, but you leave off a guy who's equally as effective in the interior.
Yeah.
That's wild to me. Yeah, I think in my opinion, he's the biggest snub. I think Dylan Sampson's a great one, too, for a lot of reasons. It's also hilarious that he's gotten so much better in pass blocking because we saw him at LSU. He actually did recover that fumble on the missed block, so credit there, right? You get one, you give one, you get one.
Yeah, bad stats.
But he's gotten a lot better. He is still small, and sometimes he still gets maybe taken for a ride a little bit, but he gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah,
he doesn't miss.
He's definitely gotten a lot better. I think Dylan Sampson was my 1-1 just because of who else was on these teams. So there were 6 running backs picked ahead of Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson rushed for 600 yards last year, 7 touchdowns.
As a third running back.
As a third running back. A guy on the third team is Ole Miss's Ulysses Bentley. Cool name, I guess. But Dylan Sampson had more yards and more touchdowns than he did last year. And if you're like, oh, well, Judkins left, he's supposed to have a big – did we just forget Jalen Wright existed last year?
Well,
and rushed for 1,000 yards?
Jalen and Jabari, yes. I mean, clearly. That's the thing, too, though. Ole Miss, everyone's high on Ole Miss. I mean, Paul Feinbaum's even smoking the Ole Miss right now. Mm-hmm. And that's a guy that Lane Kiffin is convinced hates him. So, that's, again, going back into the hype and perception. Tennessee certainly, and I'm not saying they necessarily deserve it. Lane Kiffin's been trending up with Ole Miss. They should be better this year. They're going to be in the playoff, I'd imagine. Maybe coming to Neyland for a playoff, as the projections have it. But it doesn't shock me that it's an Ole Miss guy. Is it right? Bias me says no. But
well, yeah, they got an Alabama running back just because he's a 5-star. He's on there, Justice Haynes, which he probably has a good year. I would say any RB1 at Alabama has a good year. But C.J. Baxter is at Texas is the second team running back. He had about 50 more yards than Dylan Sampson last year, 2 less touchdowns, about a 1.2 yards per carry less than Dylan Sampson, and had 32 more carries than he did, and he's second team just because he's on Texas.
How is this guy taking my job? He has no respect. He gets no respect anywhere he goes. No respect. Except when Caleb's running back 1. Or sorry, it wasn't Caleb. It was Junior Windsor the third.
There you go.
But you get it.
But I just don't understand how Dylan Sampson doesn't make any team. When there's 6 running backs taken, and if your whole argument is like, oh, these guys are, replacing really good running backs in a good system, Dylan Sampson more so than anybody.
Well,
1,000-yard rusher, and Jabari Small is gone.
To be fair to most of the media, most of them have not picked up on that this is a run-first, run-heavy offense. They still look at the wide splits and think this team throws it 100% of the game. So give them some time. Mm-hmm. They'll come around to it. Eventually. There's been a few. Credit to
I think we're just going to have a running back win the Heisman, and then they're like,
that's not going to happen, so go ahead and give up on that dream.
Or I guess finish second, because that's what we like to do that.
Sure. All right, who's your third? Who do you have? Or assuming Amari was your second, who's your third?
My third is probably a tie. I don't know how Squirrel White isn't on any team.
I had him, but
he had 800 yards last year.
Wow, I don't think I realized that. I understand the tempered I think maybe unfairly people expected him to be Jalen Hyatt.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't think that's fair. Jalen Hyatt was all-world. I mean, he had the best game any Vols probably ever had against the top rival. So
that's also a great point that you bring that up. I mean, you had a Blitnikoff winner, and if you're given that same Alabama bias toward their running backs, and same with Georgia running backs, is Tennessee not going to be helped out with wide receivers? I mean, you think we don't run the ball anyway? Can we at least get a wide receiver on on an All-SEC team?
I think that tells you what most of the media thinks is going to happen with this Tennessee team, and I pray and hope they're wrong. And I think it's going to be interesting to start. I had another wide receiver on there, and this is another one. I understand the hesitation, but I still feel like you look at there's 3 teams. How is he nowhere on there? I think it's Brew McCoy.
Okay.
And I think even more so when you look at how a player impacts the team, look at the difference, and I don't know if it's night and day. I don't think it's night and day. But there's a difference in the way that team operates. There's a difference in how Joe Milton operates when Brew McCoy goes down. You get him back this year. All signs point to him being healthy. We'll see how long that lasts, what fall camp and early games look like. But all signs point to him being ready to go. I think I put him over Squirrel because while Squirrel's stats are more impressive than I realized, I still think Brew McCoy means more to this offense as it stands right now.
Okay. I don't disagree. I think another thing that kind of kills me about these all-SEC teams is we're picking 4 defensive linemen on each team, but we have 2 wide receivers on each team.
That makes sense.
Who plays with 2 wide receivers anymore besides Georgia?
Let me introduce you to the wing team. Yeah, I think Brew McCoy was snubbed for sure. And you know the other thing that pisses me off about these all-SEC teams? Yeah, football's not here yet, and I have to talk about this crap. That's what pisses me off about these all-SEC teams. I've got one more that is again, shot in the dark. If I was going to put him on a team, it'd have to be third team, and I don't know if I'd put him there, but this is mostly based off expectations with some backing to it. It's Arion Carter.
Okay.
Young linebacker that held his own in the SEC. I don't think that can be argued. Held his own. Wasn't superb. Held his own in the SEC as a freshman. I think you got to expect that he takes another step in his sophomore season.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that kind of hurt his case is definitely him being injured last year. Didn't get to see that full potential. But, yeah, I don't disagree. I think my big one is Omar Norman Lott. Just kind of like the same reasons with Amari Thomas. Like, the guy's production, he had 5.5 sacks last year. I mean, he only had 26 tackles, but as a pass rusher and an interior defensive lineman, he is, I think, as deserving as Tim Keenan, who had 1 sack.
Omar Norman Lott has certainly surpassed my expectations from when Tennessee signed him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a stud. I'm excited to kind of see what he does this year in that whole defensive line. And, I just think probably the same reasons for Amari Thomas. Omar Norman Lott or Amari Thomas should have been on one of those teams.
Sure. I hope Tennessee has more guys there than –
Is Tennessee's offense so good where the defense just isn't going to get, like – you have to be like a James Pierce type to, like, get on a all-SEC team?
I hope so. I feel bad for the guys that are solid, but I hope so.
Yeah, okay. That means you have a James Pierce? Okay.
Well, that part, too. I just meant the offense is that good. But, yeah, sure, that part's going to be nice, too. I didn't really have any other, like, snubs, I would say. I'm sure there's some guys that are deserving of it and could be on it. I don't know if you have anybody else you want to talk about before I get us out of this.
I was just kind of going off stats with, like, guys that you're projecting this.
You are.
So, like, how – and I know it doesn't mean anything, but I don't know how you watched.
Well, it means something in July.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how you watched Squirrel White catch 67 passes last year with a quarterback a lot of people said, like, wasn't good.
Sure.
And 800 yards and doesn't get a – and, again, going back to this offense with a Blitnikoff winner, he's playing the slot receiver. What are we doing?
Well, we expect more from him. That's what it is.
Okay, yeah.
You
got to win the Blitnikoff to get on an all-SEC team.
They're holding him to a higher standard, and I appreciate it.
Okay.
I do appreciate that from the media. Thank you, guys. Again, we hope there are more at the end of the season. That means Tennessee had a successful season. I guess if you have 3, that means success for them. But we'll see how that shakes out. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk more Arion Carter and the linebackers and preview that position. Stick with us. It's more important. We are back in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio. Next up, we're going to preview this linebacker position. Linebacker. You get it. You know him. This, to me, in my opinion, this group, for Tennessee to be successful this year, for Tennessee to win as many games as we want and expect them to, that for me is 10, maybe even 9 games. We can hope and pray for 11 somehow without a choke job on the road late in the season.
Sure.
I think for me, this linebacking group, they have to take the biggest jump. I know what you're thinking, Caleb. Secondary, that's the obvious choice. And while, yes, I mean, you want and really kind of need them to be, I don't think that the secondary group is as poised to take the biggest jump. I don't think they have the guys in there, the bodies in there. I think this linebacking group, they built depth. They got some young guys, a lot of experience last year. I think this group is poised to take the step, so it has to be this group. If the secondary does it, great, that's gravy. But you've been building towards this for this linebacking group. They've got to be the ones, in my opinion, to take Tennessee and that defense to another level that helps the offense, that allows you to win football games, especially close football games.
Yeah, and I'm sure this linebacking group has heard all the, Tennessee has been kind of under the radar this offseason, but what hasn't been is that defensive line and how much depth they have there. If I'm a linebacker, I'm like, I'm taking that as a little personal.
And I've almost grouped them, to be fair to us on this show, we've almost grouped the linebackers into that. We've been like, well, the front seven's really, obviously you have the defensive line, but the front seven, you do kind of need this linebacking group to step up and be more than just part of the front seven, kind of need to separate themselves and be like, no, that linebacking group is good. And that, to me, as important as they are in stopping the run and establishing that, I think they also have to improve quite a bit in the pass game.
Yeah, I think this is as talented as a group at linebacker as Tennessee's had in
certainly depth-wise
in a while.
Yeah. Not looking at the starters, I think there's been better here and there. But when you look at what they've got, 2, maybe even 3 deep, this is a really good group.
Yeah, it's very talented. They've done a good job in the transfer portal. They've got guys to campus. They beat out really good programs. Went to the state of Georgia and got some of those guys. Literally locked Pete Golding out of a signing. So I do think this linebacking group is poised to take that next step. You got to see it to believe it.
Sure.
Got to stay healthy, I think, is a big thing that kind of put a damper on things last year. I think there was thought, like last year with Keenan Peely, Aaron Beasley, that this group could be really good and kind of move those freshmen along. And it was like right from the get-go, Keenan Peely goes down. You're playing a true sophomore at that other linebacker position who probably wasn't really ready to be in that spot. And then you have young guys behind them just kind of thrown in the fire.
Yeah, and I think that's going back. I think last year, going into the season with Aaron Beasley being the other guy, I'm probably more impressed with the starters last year.
Yeah,
but when you look at depth-wise, and that's not a knock on Aaron Carter either. I want to state that. Aaron Beasley was a seasoned vet and was a guy you knew you could trust. But then you question the depth behind them and what they might be. Now I think you got some answers out of last season. Maybe not in the way you wanted to. You talked about they kind of got their feet held over the fire there. They had to fight a learning curve while playing football in the SEC, which isn't ideal. But they again, kind of going into the Aaron Carter, what I said earlier, they kind of stood their ground. I don't think they performed well above average or anything, but I don't think they performed well below average either. I think they were a pretty solid group, and I think they can take the next jump. And this may be a hot take. I haven't seen enough of Keenan Peely to think he's 100% the starter all year. And I don't even think that's a knock on Keenan Peely. I think there's guys in this group that could overtake that position, that could play more snaps than Keenan Peely this season.
Yeah, I mean, older guy. I mean, probably like you look at the overall talent. I don't know if he's the most talented guy, but he has played. He's played a lot of college football.
Yeah, he's probably going to be in the right place at the right time.
Sure.
Most of the time. I don't know if that can certainly be said about all the guys. I think you hope that last season was a big aid in making that jump. And I think he looked against Virginia like a quality line. Like, I think we're going to be pleased with his play.
Sure.
Don't mishear that. I just very, very impressed with Jeremiah Thielander. I think that's the one that stands out to me. That's a guy that could play a lot of snaps this season. That you also have Caleb Perry in that second group. That, again, is a guy that can play a lot of snaps this season. Mm-hmm. And maybe Keenan Peely makes us very, very happy. Maybe he is not just a great leader and a veteran, but also a guy that's going to take over and play those snaps. Maybe. I just wouldn't be shocked if it's one of these young guys that haven't gotten the opportunity necessarily to do that, because they've had older guys in front of them the whole time.
Yeah. I think the depth is such a big thing with this group, because I don't know what William Inge does with substitutions and things like that, but Brian Jean-Marie and Tim Banks did a really good job of, getting these guys prepared.
Sure.
It wasn't just like, hey, we need you against Florida, go in there and see what you can do.
Yeah.
They prepared them through all those lower-tiered opponents, and then by the end of the season, you could count on those guys.
Right.
Jeremiah Thielander I didn't think he played all that much, and he had 35 tackles last year.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed with the young guys, and I just think they should make a huge step, because there's no young guy, I don't think, when you play that many games as a freshman.
Oh yeah, I mean
you're a vet now.
You've come a long way for sure. And Jeremiah Thielander, I think, still has. You mentioned him, and I think he still has some steps to take in terms of being an SEC linebacker year in, year out, or something like that. But I love the way that guy flies around. I love the reckless abandonment he plays with. He is a very, very fun linebacker to watch. He finds the football. Now I need him to do a little bit more than that this year. You're a veteran. You got to take that next step. But I think that's someone that I'm not going to sit here and call it like, oh, he's going to be the guy. I don't know, but I want him to be, and I think he could be. But I also think there's guys. You talk about the depth again, just to reiterate that. You have added not just bodies. You've added guys with experience. Don't know if they have earned the right to be veterans necessarily, but they're pretty darn close.
Yeah. And I think a big thing with this group too is you can lean on that defensive front too.
Sure.
Like, you don't have to go out and I got to go get a pick or I got to go get a sack because, these guys in front of me aren't going to get it done. I feel like you should have the utmost confidence in those guys in front of you that they're going to get the job done. So all you got to worry about is your job. You ain't got to worry about nobody else. And maybe the secondary a little bit, but when the ball's in front of you, I don't think you're having to worry very much about anything besides your job.
When you hit on the secondary, though, in terms of be good at your job, and I think that's even more of a reason why we need this linebacking group to be good in the pass game. And I think, for the most part, that's really the only place that I would say might be overstating this, but might be alarming. Alarming, yeah, worrisome.
Mm-hmm.
This group hadn't convinced me that they're going to be necessarily able to aid in stopping a passing team, a good passing team.
Yeah.
I think they've got to – it goes into Jeremiah Thielander. That's a guy that I'm like, he finds the football when it's on the ground. Need him to be able to do that when the ball's in the air. I think that's another benefit with Keenan Peely. Talk about right place, right time. That's a guy that's been around a long time. He's also he's extremely athletic. I don't want that to be misheard. I think that's in the Virginia game. You talk about kind of flying around like he did before he got injured. He was moving around the field and showed some impressive stuff. I also want to hit on something, too. You mentioned the substitutions. I'm not saying they were bad at substitutions, but Aaron Beasley was your best linebacker the last 2 years. Can we not have him out of play on critical third downs anymore? Can we stop that? Find a way to get him in. Find a way.
Yeah. I agree, but on the flip side of that, you've kind of prepared Jeremiah Thielander and Arion Carter. Now, I don't want to see those guys out, but I think –
well, yeah, I don't want to be preparing someone behind him this year. I want the guys that are I want your better linebacker in on critical third downs. I don't think that's too much to ask. I don't.
And I think it's going to be a little different because you do have a new coach there. I just have a hard time thinking they're going to sub out as much. But there is depth. Caleb Perry's played some football. They like Edwin Spillman. Obviously, Jeremiah T. Lander is probably going to be behind Peely at that Mike position. So, I think these guys have played a lot of football, even though some of them are younger. And, I like what you mentioned with kind of the passing game, because I think that's where Arion Carter is going to separate himself and being a little different. I mean, this guy we talk about athletic. He was a D1 running back commit before he committed to Tennessee. I mean, that dude's a freak. And there is a reason why Pete Golding was trying to, break down the door to that, I guess, Smyrna High School. He wanted Arion Carter to come to Alabama and wanted the chance to get him there. And just like, I mean, that story should live forever, because that is
sure.
But somebody play Dixieland Delight right now. That just fires me up.
Landon can pronounce a random city in Mexico, and he says Smyrna High School. I'm gonna have to hold you to that.
What is it?
Smyrna?
2 syllables. Smyrna.
I said Smyrna.
Smyrna. I think it's the.
You 3 syllables.
Smyrna.
I think it's the Arion Carter kind of threw you off. You hit that name. That's got it.
Smyrna. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that threw you off.
Smyrna.
There you go.
Smyrna. SM. Smyrna.
Yeah.
SM Athletics.
Yeah. Whatever. You get it.
We did get it. You're not wrong. It gotta hold you to that. Great colors too, purple and yellow. Not really gold, just purple and yellow. Kind of didn't want to go the LSU route. I respect it.
Yeah.
Bulldogs maybe. I think they're a dog. Who knows?
Arion Carter's a dog.
That's for sure. That's my nephew. I'm certainly most excited for Arion Carter this year. That's a guy that there's a lot of linebackers in even in recent Tennessee history that fans fall in love with. I think it's, if they haven't yet, I think Arion Carter's kind of that next step. That's the next person.
Can we tell the nephew story?
Sure. I don't think it's bad or inappropriate.
Okay. Do you know the nephew story?
No.
So we were at the Virginia game, walking to the tailgate spot, and a buddy of ours, Deuce, was wearing a Casey Clausen. He wears a Casey Clausen jersey for every game.
I mean, and when we say Casey Clausen, he purchased this, probably got it for a Christmas gift in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
I don't know how he still fits into it, but I'm impressed.
Stretched out a little bit. But he's walking through, and there's these people sitting on this bench, and they're like, hey, I like that number 7. He said, the Iceman. They're like, the Iceman? He's like, yeah, Casey Clausen. He's like, no, that's Arion Carter. That's our nephew. So Arion Carter officially became our nephew on that day.
And it was yelled. It had a little more pizzazz to it. It was like, that's my nephew.
That's my nephew.
Kind of deal. So, yeah, we have officially. Congrats, Arion Carter. You are our nephew.
Yeah.
To go on an episode of You Are Not the Father. Murray.
Oh,
Maury. I was like, Murray didn't sound right. Murray.
Smyrna.
Yeah, obviously y'all are 1-1 on pronunciations.
Golly.
Could be Jerry Springer.
Jerry. No, that's like a. Yeah, I guess that is Not the Father. That is Jerry Springer.
They do both. There's a lot of Not the Father shows, unfortunately. Which one passed away, Jerry Springer?
Oh, rip. I didn't know that.
Or is it Maury Povich?
I don't know.
Yeah, you stumped me.
I think. I don't want to say it. It seems rude.
No clue. You also have Edwin Spillman and Jordan Burns. So you've recruited pretty well at this position. And, obviously you got Christian Gass. You're hopefully in a good position to land Jaden Perlotti in this linebacking group. It's not going to help you this year.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what are we doing? We're not previewing linebackers at this point.
I do think, Tennessee linebackers should –
they should improve.
The talent level should continue to be good.
Let's hope it carries over in the secondary. I don't want to get away from this without mentioning, we've talked about this linebacking group in pass coverage. Let's not forget James Pierce is officially a pass defender. He intercepts passes and he scores.
That's true. Yeah, he's just he's a linebacker.
He's a linebacker. One of my favorite very underrated. One of my favorite plays as a Tennessee fan was Texas A&M 2016. at College Station, and I don't remember exactly the scenario, third down, second down, whatever it was. I want to feel like it was probably a third down play, third and manageable, and I don't remember if A&M substituted or if they audibled or what, but it obviously threw our defense in a frenzy, and we're scrambling, and I don't know if Derek Barnett read it or if he got that call very late to get out into the flat. His guy in the flat goes vertical at some point. I don't know if it was a corner route or what. Goes vertical, and he's with him the whole way. To go, you go, baby. He was with him. Breaks up. It was a little underthrown, but still, Derek Barnett's a big guy to be running downfield. Breaks it up. I loved it. To go from this might be a touchdown, watching us scramble, to Derek Barnett and oh crap, I gotta go mode. Turns around, pass deflect. Very meaningless, I guess, in the grand scheme of things play, but I just love Derek Barnett.
Yeah.
And I love that play.
And I think James Pierce, Derek Barnett was so good, but I think James Pierce, like his body type.
He's definitely different than Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett's
his
more of like
physique was just like
Derek Barnett's more of like a traditional defensive end, whereas James Pierce is this new age edge rusher.
Yeah,
it's very different.
Pin your ears back and go.
Yeah, he's gonna probably has a see. I don't know. You see it with James Pierce has the bend on that dude's incredible. Derek Barnett had some nasty bend though.
Yeah,
I mean that dude could get low. I don't know what their measurables are. I'm gonna go with Derek Barnett's a little heavier.
Yeah, he looks heavier for sure.
Yeah, he can move though.
He could move.
It's an exciting linebacking group. Obviously, you got to have a lot of things kind of go right because of where they are on the field. Got to have some secondary help. Got to have some help stopping the run so they're not so committed to it in the guys up front. But I think the big nasties are gonna help you this season. We'll preview the secondary another day and talk about them. I mentioned it. I think they obviously have to take a big leap, but I'm not so sure if they're poised to. Like this linebacking group, I believe is poised to.
Do you want to know the
yeah, let me hear the measurables before we get out of this.
James Pierce is 6'5", 243. Derek Barnett is 6'3", 259. So,
wow, I would not have guessed James Pierce was taller either.
Yeah,
not 2 inches taller. Wow,
a bit more lean to him.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
He again just he looks that edge rusher type.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Derek Barnett in that category. Of the new age.
Yeah, like I think if you saw James Pierce running with somebody, like you're like, oh, okay, like that's,
yeah, makes sense.
Derek Barnett, you're like. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
it worked.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Both filthy coming off the edge, though. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. All right, guys, we will be back. We're going to talk some more of that 2025 class. Landon already kind of got you into it. I mean, we're just rattling off names here, but we'll get more into it. You got some guys coming to town. Maybe some commits coming soon, as was teased by George McIntyre. Was that a tweet?
Yeah, it was.
I didn't even see that. My brother called me and asked me about it, and I'm like, "What do you think I know, man? Come on." You want me to call George real quick? Can't do that.
Yeah.
Stick with us, guys. We'll be back at the top of the hour. It's More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio.
Are you tired of the same boring workouts that don't get you the results that you
important issues on Fan Run Radio. We're live in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Talking 2025 class. The next guy's up. I blame it on George McIntyre that we're talking about 2025 before 2024 even starts. And yeah, I realize it's July of 2024, but we're college football fans. 2024 hadn't even started yet.
Oh, did I put 2024?
No, I'm saying I blame George McIntyre for making us talk about it right now. He teased a commit coming, and
I thought
now we've got a chat.
Did we put 2024 though?
No,
It should be 2025.
I don't think Landon's listening to me. Am I making sense, Joey?
Plenty of sense.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I'm just
No, you're good. Well, let's try this one more time.
a little lost.
Let's try this one more time.
Okay.
I hate that I have to talk about 2025 before 2024 even starts.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now we're on the same page.
Missed that.
All
Sorry.
right. No, we're good. I'm not mad.
I was looking for something, but so I lost what you said. But you're right. Yes,
I'm looking for that new commit.
we are.
When do we get it? Like, what did he say? I didn't see. Like I said, I didn't see the tweet. I got a phone call from a unspecified building at a government facility.
Yeah, I would just be prepared for tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Is that
I
the
would be-
weekend?
I would be prepared for tomorrow. Friday.
Okay. Friday.
Yeah.
Is this like a Friday news dump? Is it late? Good Lord, Joey.
Joey has the biggest sandwich I've ever seen. Pulled it out, and I was like, that's not a sandwich. That is a loaf of bread.
It's massive. Making me hungry.
Yeah, Caleb hasn't eaten anything. This man pulls out the biggest sandwich I've ever seen.
I'm salivating right now.
You can have the other half.
No, I'm good.
Just a tease.
Yeah, just a tease like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk 2025 something. Well, I guess I've already talked about the George McIntyre. Do you want to speculate, or do you want to just know it's coming? Do you want to get out ahead of this, or do you want to wait? I'm not comfortable getting out ahead of it, but if you are, by all means.
I mean,
brother.
just be prepared for tomorrow. But I mean, there is a big. There's a big weekend gonna happen. With visits, commits, flips. There's gonna be a lot.
Is they going out on the lake? Are they tubing?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're actually gonna do. I forget who the coach. It might have been Butch Jones, where they would always go to. I've been Pruitt, where they went to the pool and everybody did like they all like jumped in the pool and stuff and did like backflips off the diving board.
You're just saying they swam in a pool.
Well, the big pool like at the T-Rec. You know what I'm
Right.
talking about, Joey?
Oh, yeah.
T-Rec
But-
pool. You been in there?
Nope.
But what you just described was just a pool day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they don't have to just go to the lake to do flips.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were hinting. Okay, I got you.
But yeah, so some big names on campus. David Sanders is going to take a couple more visits. It was announced today. Nebraska and Tennessee. I mean, I know Ohio State is in it, but I got to think if he's just visiting those schools this weekend, it's just down to those schools, which Nebraska is kind of out of left field anyway. I know Matt Rule.
To be fair, yeah, I have this as one of my stupidities. To be fair, that is the most NFL-ready conference. That is the best conference to be in. That's the premier. That's the elite.
Yeah.
So I get having to go check it out.
Yeah, Matt Rule knows a lot about the NFL. He couldn't win there, but
Tony
he knows a
Vitello
lot about it.
Tony Vitello really likes Nebraska, so I get it.
God, Matt Rule.
Yeah, you have some extra hate for Matt Rule as a Panthers fan.
He's ass.
I saw this guy wearing a Panthers jersey the other day that it was like a very much a knockoff type deal. Kind of reminded me of Brucey from Longest Yard.
You're saying Matt Rule looks like Bruce?
No, this guy wearing a Panthers jersey looked like Brucey from Longest Yard. It was very fell right at the pant line, sleeves very long, and it was black as well, which I believe Brucey wears a black jersey. I haven't seen Longest Yard in a while, but I believe so. And just had a Brucey look to him.
Okay.
Kind of stumpy.
Yeah. I don't know what he's selling that this is the most NFL-ready conference, the Big Ten. I mean,
It's going to suck. We have two coaches saying a lot that one of them is going to be very fairly criticized in week 2, I believe, or is that week 1? Colorado, Nebraska.
Oh God.
One of those coaches is going to come out on the wrong end of that,
Yeah.
which I love.
Well, I just want to kind of throw this out there. Even if it was the most NFL ready conference, Nebraska isn't helping that.
No, they don't get to get in on all of that because
No.
it's 2 schools really kind of holding it down right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just tape for the NFL, like for NFL players to watch the other team.
You make it on Huddle, brother. Calm down. Calm down.
But yeah, Deshaun Brame will be in for a visit. That was announced today by, I think, VolQuest, so go ahead and give them some credit. Committed to Oregon 26 days ago, I think that's right. It was between Tennessee and Oregon, picked Oregon. He is from Kansas, so I think it's definitely closer to Oregon, but I don't know if that's a huge deal if your 2 teams are Oregon and Tennessee.
It's probably pretty close.
You think it's that close?
To Eugene? Type in
How far is Derby, Kansas to Eugene, Oregon?
and then Derby, Kansas to Knoxville, Tennessee. As a person who has traversed these United States of America,
I mean,
I'm going to think it's pretty close.
I think Oregon's definitely closer for sure.
I mean, maybe the border of Oregon. I don't know about Eugene. No, that's a huge state. I would say it is maybe
I want to get your guesses now.
2-hour difference if Oregon's winning. I think it's pretty close. I think it's very close.
How many hours do you think you're gonna drive for each?
To Derby, Kansas. I don't know what part of the state Derby's in. Can I hear that hint? Because you
almost smack dab in the middle.
I would say it's
maybe
15 hours away.
Maybe right center.
I would say.
You're talking about here to Derby,
Yeah.
Kansas? Okay.
I'm gonna say 11. No. Yeah, 11 hours.
Knoxville to Derby, Kansas, 13 and a half hours.
Good call.
Derby,
I think it's pretty dang close. 10 hours, 12 hours to
Derby, Eugene, 26 hours.
26.
Yeah.
What
Are you
route
serious?
is that going? Well, you got to.
Are you walking?
You do have
You
to
got to
think.
cross the Rockies.
I was about to say you got to think about the states that are between it. I was thinking.
Okay.
I was thinking that Idaho-Wyoming border would really take you for a
Okay,
trip.
so proximity to home is not a deal breaker with Deshaun Brame.
No, obviously not. I was thinking that like maybe tap your shoes 2 times.
857
Well,
miles.
I mean, we're talking about guys from Kansas. There was a national champion hero, if you will, that just got drafted by the MLB from Kansas. Pretty good. So, I mean, Deshaun Brame makes it official and flips back to Tennessee. I shouldn't say back. He's flipping to Tennessee from Oregon.
Wait, are you saying that? Like, are you saying it's going to happen? You're giving me.
I mean, I just think, like, you committed to somebody 26 days ago, and then you're going to take a visit to that school that came in second.
What are we calling your crystal ball? What's your version
Well,
of a crystal ball?
also, if you just want to kind of read the tea leaves a little bit, is the first, I watched a video after his official visit with Matt Ray, and who's the first person he mentions 5 seconds into it? George McIntyre.
Okay.
So, I mean, if I'm going to tweet out a surprise commit and then that guy mentions George McIntyre 5 seconds into his interview, sounds pretty good to me.
I'm never going to read into a 17-year-old's social media, not me.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
I think the interview probably holds some weight, but I won't.
Well, I mean, like, you got a call about, like, what's happening.
Yeah, I'm sure they're commuting. I mean, he's coming into town, so I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm giving you a hard time.
Oh, okay.
I want to call your crystal. We got to come up with your crystal ball selection. Like, what do you have? What do you call in here?
I mean, I just
Landon's right, I guess.
I don't think it's anything. I think that a lot of people think he's gonna just flip to Tennessee.
Yeah, but you're the primary one that's saying it.
No,
I'm just kidding.
no.
Is Richard G. Westbrook in this news yet?
Yeah, that's when we know it's official. But yeah, 4-star tight end, number 101 ranked player per On 3, number 4 tight end, number 3 player in the state of Kansas. But a really big commit to go with Jack Van Doorslayer, which is an awesome name.
That is a great name.
At tight end. So I think Alec Ablin has found his footing a little bit. He's able to land these 2 4-star tight ends. I think that's a good start to his recruiting.
Yeah, and I think getting a guy like Brame is more evidence of Tennessee improving in the recruiting market. I don't think they're just kind of going out and getting guys that aren't being recruited by some of the better programs that they feel are, I guess, are safe picks is the right way to say it, but going out and competing and getting some high-profile, talented guys.
Yeah, and I think one thing, like, you can point to Princeton Fant on how well he did in his last year on campus, and then McAllen Castles was super underrated last year.
McAllen Castles for sure, and I think Jacob Warren's another guy too that you throw into that mix that I think a lot of his success is due to how Josh Heupel uses tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both those guys had really good seasons last year. So I just think it's kind of like the linebacker group. It just seems like it's continuing to just get better.
Get more depth, get more talent.
Yep.
Can't wait for a 2 tight end set between Ethan Davis and either of these 2025 commits.
No,
Holden stays. If Holden stays is half as good as NCAA or EA Sports believes he is, Sami, I'm buying stock in Holden stays. That dude's nasty on the new game.
Yeah, but you're getting like more like prototypical tight ends.
Sure.
And
True
not,
tight ends.
Yeah, not just like Princeton Fant played linebacker, running back, wide receiver, and then I was like, I haven't played this one. I'll try tight end. And did pretty well at it.
Yeah.
So,
we need more trick plays with our tight ends. I love Princeton Fant.
And then Lagonza, Shady Hayward, will make his decision on Saturday. So it could be a nice, really good weekend for Tennessee in recruiting. He's the number 100 player in the country. So you could land the number 100 player and the number 101 player in back-to-back days.
And I've seen a lot.
That's never happened before.
Right. I've seen a lot of people refer to him as a safety, but I think On 3 has him as an athlete.
Yeah, I think he caught
Is that a safety commit for is that somebody to help the secondary next year? Or is that up in the air?
I mean, he's a bigger guy that he could probably grow into a linebacker, but he also caught 7 touchdowns, 727 yards last year as a receiver.
All my linebackers be athletes, but okay. So
he's got hands.
He's got a lot of.
He's gonna help. He's gonna be on the field.
Okay.
Like, it's a guy that I think it's kind of like Boo Carter. It's like, where do we need him at, and let him just go play ball.
Sure. Yeah.
And we'll figure it out. Like, we'll figure out where we need to put him. But he's one of the best 11 players on our team.
Right.
Yeah, that you have DeJuan Morris, running back out of Oakland, currently committed to USC. Will be on campus. I just think you want to add another running back, and why not go with one of the best programs in the state of Tennessee and land one. Kid's committed to USC. You kidding me?
It's a lot of traveling, guy. You hear that? It was 26 hours to Derby, Kansas. What is it to Lansing, Michigan, from L.A.? And then you got to sit on the tarmac at LAX, waiting to leave. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no one wants to do that.
We got a nice, cute little airport here at McGee Tyson.
Yeah.
Get you to and from SEC games real easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think would be a nice addition to this class, and then you have David Sanders in a couple weeks. I mean, could this be a top 5 class when it's all said and done?
If you can somehow stack up this run, sure, why not?
And then you're in the running for the number 1 quarterback in next year's class, and Faison Brandon will make his decision August 3rd. I mean, that.
You got to win football games.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
You talk about this being a number 5 class. We know it's not a class until they're signed. You got to go win football games. It's that kind of it's clear that these guys can recruit. I think again they still have room to improve, but a lot of that too is you got to go win football games.
Yep.
You got to go win, baby, win.
Yep.
The rest will come. Build it, they will come.
Yeah, but you're just winning more and more battles between
Right.
like
Which you'll love to see.
Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama that you haven't won in a long time.
I mean,
So,
you may beat Oregon out for one.
Yeah.
And Dan Lanning's done an exceptional job at Oregon.
Yeah.
Did you not agree with that?
I mean, what has he won?
I mean, I think the rate at which he's winning football games is versus what Oregon was doing with Mario Cristobal is. I mean, this year sure is going to be the telltale, but
Yeah.
going to.
I mean, I definitely think they're better, but I don't know how much better. Like those Oregon teams, like
He's also in year 2.
Yeah, I agree, but it wasn't like he had to rebuild an entire program.
No, it wasn't that. But that allowed him to be that in year 1. I still think maybe exceptional is strong, but I think he's done a really good job as year 1 as a first-year head coach.
Yeah, I mean he's done well recruiting, but I feel like it's not that hard to. I mean, kids like Oregon.
But I still disagree with how easy it is to recruit Oregon. If you look at where they're at just in the country, they're on the West Coast. They were in the Pac-12. They weren't a primetime team to cover. Sure, the jerseys are fun, but every team does that now.
Yeah.
Like that's not Oregon was fun for a minute. Now it's just a kind of weird, obscure school that their stadium gets pretty loud sometimes. I don't think Oregon's this like incredibly cushy job that maybe it used to be, but I don't know if it's that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever been that, but I don't think it is anymore. I think Oregon's a harder job now, games-wise, not very hard. But you are still competing with some of the more traditional powers that are not in that conference that have also struggled lately, so that doesn't get you off there. But I think he's done good. Exceptional may have been strong. I apologize for that. But I think he's surprised me. I maybe thought that was going to be not so great for Oregon.
Yeah, like I think that I thought it was a good hire. Like, comes from Georgia, does well in recruiting, and just kind of has that like winning mindset.
Yeah, but Georgia's a machine that
Sure.
doesn't
Like
need
they
anybody.
didn't need Dan Lanning, but
right.
I think Dan Lanning helped them.
Yeah, I agree
get
with
to
that.
where they are.
I agree with that.
So, yeah, we'll see kind of how that works out. But, I mean, I think they would be right around where Tennessee and Ole Miss and all them are, like, in the SEC.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that. Which I also think Josh Heupel and Lane Kiffin have done good jobs.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right. Anything else for this 2025 class?
Let's go in.
I don't want to wrap it up without you having your last crystal ball.
Let's get started on Friday. Be prepared.
Be prepared for Friday. That's Landon's message to all you out there. Stick with us. We'll be back after this break. It's More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment.
Landon, it's been a good day, man. I finally got the notification. Joey's parking pass shipped. That's awesome. Let's have a competition because my national championship gear finally shipped.
We also got a notification that our parking passes for football are shipped.
Oh, wow. What a day.
It's a great day for parking passes. True. And USPS.
Great day to be a parking pass.
Yeah, I mean, we are truly creating jobs here. I did get 3 separate shipping notifications. I didn't feel like I ordered that much. I think it could have been one box. So that made me feel bad.
I need to go get some more. I only ordered a couple things, and I'm like, I'll just see if more stuff comes out.
I kind of did that too. I definitely do need some more. Here's my deal. I do not have just endless amounts of money, and football season's coming up, so we're going to get football drop here soon. And I have to buy a polo every year. That's the rule.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to wait on that one.
Are you a shoes guy? Are y'all like a Tennessee, get the Nike Pegasus or whatever?
I'm not.
I'm not either.
When I was younger, I just wanted everything Tennessee, so I got those Pegasus. But that was I'm not a big shoe guy.
I did get last year's because I thought they looked good.
They always look great. There's only certain times you can wear them too. There's certain, and it's almost over the top unless they just blend it in a little bit. Like the more.
That's why I felt like this past year's was more subtle. I think they're almost always too much. Kind of like the Nike, the new Smoky Grays. I just feel like they try to slap every Tennessee emblem on them that they could think of. That's how I feel about most of the team issue shoes. Is I feel like they do too much. I didn't like the checkerboards. Feel like they didn't fit on there well. This year's is just the orange, or last year's. I don't know what that part of the shoe called at the shoelaces, and then it's got like a small
tongue.
No, the tongue's like under the shoelace. That comes up. That actually, yeah. And then a small power tee on the back heel or like on the outside of the heel. So I feel like it's very subtle. I don't know what this shoe is going to be, but I get them if they look good.
Yeah. I've never really gotten them. I'm more of a neutral shoe color. I like white,
baby,
gray. So yeah, a lot of them that are just like the orange with checkerboard on them.
I can't do those.
Yeah,
your dad loves them.
My dad does love them.
Both my brothers love them.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of get angry when I see them wear them. I'm like,
also like the checkerboard Hey Dudes. I'm like,
yeah, your dad loves the checkerboard Hey Dudes.
Oh yeah, he does.
I think he wore those the night we won the national championship.
Dang, he's got to keep wearing them.
Yeah, he has to. I heard
he loves them. I just can't.
I heard Hey Dudes are incredibly comfortable. So does he? I guess he just got them. He hasn't worn them in Neyland yet, has he?
Probably not.
Is he gonna risk getting them Neyland filthy?
I don't know. I don't. He's a big wear shoes when you're supposed to, so I don't think he's gonna wear Hey Dudes when he has to walk that much.
Did he wear them in a baseball game? I thought Hey Dudes are incredibly comfortable. Are they not good walking shoes? Just good wearing shoes?
I think so. I don't wear Hey Dudes. I don't know.
Do
you wear Hey Dudes?
No.
Why'd you say it like that?
That's not Hey Dudes. I just, I do a lot of walking,
daily, yeah.
Yeah, totally. That's why I get up. That's why I got a parking pass.
Yeah, he actually lives on campus. He drives.
I just don't think they're super. I mean, they're probably good for a mile or two, but if you're trekking around campus all day for game day,
yeah, I just feel like they're too thin.
Yeah, maybe if you got some good insoles, maybe, but they're not.
Yeah.
They don't secure to your.
Yeah, there's not enough there to.
Yeah.
To help you out.
I'm normally a wear shoes appropriate guy. I wear comfortable shoes when I need to be comfortable, but I have sacrificed on game day fashion over comfort. The Jordan ones I have, they aren't the most comfortable shoes for that activity.
Yeah.
And I wear them to game.
Yeah, they're not walking mile shoes.
No, or standing and yelling shoes.
Or going up steps to the bathroom.
Sure.
Those kind of steps.
I just use the bathroom in my seat, so I don't have to worry about that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No one can really tell. That place kind of smells like beer and urine now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just all the same.
Yeah, you're good. And I'm sweaty even when it's cold. No one can tell. We're good. I just wear an adult diaper and call it a day.
Nothing's better than the boots I wear are so uncomfortable. Sorry, that was a weird transition.
Yeah, I was like, where are we going with this?
But dude, kicking off those boots after
oh yeah,
what, 12 hours minimum?
Or just standing. I don't even know why we get seats out of the tailgate. I don't think I've ever sat down at a tailgate. At least after 11 a.m.
Yeah, we put 10 chairs out. No one ever sits in them. There's a few people that go in and out. I'd never really sit in them.
I'm thinking about getting a chair like your dad's at lounges.
Yeah, I was just about to say a gravity chair. I might bring a hammock next year.
There you go.
I'm a big hammock guy. No. The one with the stand.
Oh.
Just bring the stand.
Okay.
I'll live right across the river, man. I can bring whatever I want now.
Oh, are you in the?
He's
new
in the
one that's
Davy.
going up, yeah. No free ads, but yeah.
This man's loaded.
Apparently,
It's actually, I got it cheaper than what my rent would be where I'm at now.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Now the leases that they're giving out are more expensive, I think.
they're paying him to
We
live
got there
there.
early.
Yeah, Joey's got NIL money.
Yeah.
I do. I need some. Let's get some. I mean, ambassadorships. I can wear whatever.
We need to get you some.
You aren't loyal to anything right now. You're open.
I am open. I'm not committed to anything.
open for opportunity. We need
I
to
like
get you
that.
some military type boots that are orange or white, and you need to wear those on game day because you're Joey Boots.
We never finished our prediction, or what was our bets that we had to go full kilt.
Full kit.
Full
I
kit
mean,
wanker.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Dylan's just gonna have to do it, I guess, since he
I think
cheated.
you're right, and
He
he's
paid for
he's not
picks.
here.
That's-
Yeah,
you
that's
can't-
crazy. You
You
can't
never
be in a
enforce
bet
that.
and get on Discord and
Yeah.
get picks. That's you have to go with the heart.
Yeah.
Maybe some head, but mostly the heart.
Yeah.
You
have to
can't
use
go
your
with
own
the
brain.
Discord.
Yeah.
That's not allowed. Yeah, that's absurd. I think I lost that bet. So Dylan does have to suffer. That's a good point. Let's talk some increased scholarships here. It's big news. It's big news for every program, but I think for Vol fans, for most college sports fans, it's the biggest news for baseball.
100%.
Shout out and rip in peace to the 11.7 guys. They will have to rebrand.
I think they keep it. I think they just
you
ride
have
it
to.
out.
You
Yeah,
have to. But
just ride it out.
I think it's funnier to say rip in peace. They just will cease to exist. Their goal has been accomplished.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like
Us with the national championship.
Yeah.
Yep. We can go down together, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We can just burn it all down now. We're good.
Yeah, we're done.
You all got to the top, the pinnacle.
We've made it.
Yeah.
Officially.
There is some interesting kind of parts of this, I guess. There are going to be some scholarship increases, but there will be roster limit decreases.
Yeah.
Which I think overall probably helps the brand of college sports.
Yeah, I think it. It definitely helps. I don't think coaches are gonna love that. They're gonna love the scholarships. They're gonna hate the roster
Right.
cap.
I think now, and I think maybe some adjustments made to how the transfer portal operates. That is obviously needed, some more structure to it. But I think now with the transfer portal, I think this won't hurt people like some are probably assuming.
Yeah, I know there's been some SEC coaches that were kind of talking about it, and they're just like, it's going to be a lot harder to practice because of roster limits. You want to keep guys healthy, and you don't have a bunch of spots for walk-ons and stuff like that. And I get it to a certain extent, but also there's 105 guys. If you can't figure out 22 out of 105,
what are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing? I agree. And that's another increase. So you'll see football go from 85 to 105. That's the roster limit as well. Softball goes from 12 to 25. Volleyball goes from 12 to 18. I don't know what it is for soccer. And then you have basketball season increase from 12 to 15. I think that's an interesting roster limit. I don't know what the roster limit is right now. Probably 18.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the more interesting roster limit, just because
For what?
basketball.
I don't know what the roster limit is.
Yeah. Just because that's I guess 15 is traditional, but it also seems low. I think going into the scholarship increase to 15 helps more than the reduction in roster limit hurts.
Yeah.
If I would assume there's one in basketball. I don't think it's 15 as the roster
Well,
limit.
and with college basketball, it's I don't know about the walk-ons, but with the transfer portal, kind of like you said, no one's getting 15 scholarship players.
Very rarely you'll see it. You'll see it
Yeah.
kind of when the stars align. I think this year with Tennessee, they probably could have gotten close the way stars aligned. But yeah, it'll be a rare thing to see.
Yeah,
I
guys
think
aren't sitting that far down the bench.
what this will do is it'll allow you in football and basketball to allow you to award some of those walk-ons. Obviously, they wouldn't be classified that now, but walk-ons with full ride scholarships. And this goes into the NCAA starting to prepare for what's down the road, which credit to them. They haven't done much of that lately, but you're going to get into revenue sharing eventually, and this is kind of a start towards that. And so I think it's good for all sports. I think, again, best for those small sports, baseball, softball, volleyball, soccer, best for those. But I think it also helps in the long run football and basketball as well, and how the structure of teams and athletic departments and how those are all set up.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with everything that you said. I think college baseball is the big one, and it is a big one because Tennessee just won a national championship, so obviously, like, we are big on college baseball. But from 11.7 to 34,
that's a jump.
Is insane.
That's a jump that a lot of coaches who they've been really good at recruiting, but they've maybe missed out on some guys due to roster or scholarship limits, whether they be out of state and they have to look for a better opportunity that they're not taking out loans for.
Yeah.
Or looking at guys who go pro because they're like, why would I pay for school even if it's $1,000? Why would I pay when I can go make money now?
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, those really good recruiters that can get better are salivating.
Yeah.
One specifically is right down the road.
Well, I don't think you depend like so much for those lower sports on NIL to kind of get where you want to be.
Right.
You know, it's just kind of an added benefit now. Like, you don't have an Evan Russell on, you know, just a limited scholarship or any scholarship.
He's trying to keep that hope alive, baby. Trying to keep that hope scholarship intact.
Yeah, like, there's no reason why some of those big name players on Tennessee's baseball team isn't on full scholarship.
Right. And I think a lot of people will look at this and say it's the end of some. And I think there'll be some athletic departments that really have to figure things out. But a place like Tennessee, it doesn't cost money to add 20 scholarships. It doesn't cost the University of Tennessee any money to add 20 scholarships to their football team.
Yeah.
It's not costing them money. And that is not the case for every athletic department in the country, but SEC, Big Ten, the Premier League. And by Premier League, I don't mean the soccer league. I mean the Big Ten is the Premier League of college football. For big conferences, for big schools, for big teams, this is not costing them more money. So it kind of one of those things that is an outdated rule that the NCAA had to figure out. I don't know if this is the final answer. I think this is a good step in the right direction, though.
Yeah, especially like now I think, going back to college baseball a little bit, now that you increase those scholarships, I mean, I think you have to have another coach.
Yeah, and that's probably on the way, too. That's something that's been in talks for a while. We've pretty much since Ross Kivett abandoned us for Houston, that's been talked about. Yeah. Speaking of that, Ross, I know you're listening. You're always listening. You're a loyal listener. Shout out. Get the guest room ready. Get the guest room.
Going to Houston.
You got a party of two. Be checking in. I don't know the dates yet, but
we'll be there.
We'll be there.
Yep.
That's gonna really suck if they're out of town that weekend.
Well, he could just leave us the keys.
Oh, even better. we'll watch the dog.
Yeah, there you go.
Things got to go out.
Yeah, for sure.
We're good dog sitters.
Oh, he's probably just got like an he's got so much money down there. I'm sure that he has like a.
Yeah, turn the pool heater on. Don't skimp out on us.
Yeah. He's probably got to like just lets the dog out itself. Got like a robot like carrying it on a leash or something.
Yeah, that's money I don't know about. Ross Kivett does though.
He does. Yeah, so maybe we bring him back. Well, we'll see about that. But yeah, I do think it is big for college sports, and you know, I mean, I don't think it's as big of a deal for football. I know coaches like don't love the fact that it's cut down their roster a little bit.
Well, and a lot of these coaches will lose the goodwill walk-on videos that they put on scholarship. Like, they look like good guys when they put this poor little walk-on scholarship. So they'll lose that. They won't like those PR videos being
We
gone.
can just do it beforehand. You're like, hey, you're going to walk on. We don't have to have you walk on, so congratulations.
Yep. Or they'll just bring on walk-ons just to give them the scholarship in a video later. Yeah. There's some workarounds.
Yeah, but you can also do, like, I mean, could you do some – is everybody going to be on full scholarship? Like, you can do some partial.
No, because the roster limits. Everyone's full. Okay. You have 105 full scholarships football, 105 roster spots.
34 is insane for baseball.
34 is a lot.
I mean, it's a huge jump. I don't know how you, like, go from – I mean, props to whoever, like – when does that take place, 2026? 2025?
Probably – I don't know. But if you think Blake Burke, Christian Moore got paid, you haven't seen that sophomore kid who's been been eating bologna sandwiches for the last month. He just got paid.
Yeah. He's gonna be living next to Joey Boots. In a little bit.
Yeah. If he's lucky. If that NIL deal cashes, he'll be there. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up with some segments here. Stick with us. We'll be back after this break. It's More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio.
Hey, this is Jamie Eady here at Volunteer Auto Group, and if you're looking
We are in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Let's wrap you up, get you sent home. Let's talk some segments. Before we do that, one restaurant you could put in the new Neyland verse. What were they calling it? What's the name for it? Are they throwing a name out there?
Neyland Entertainment District.
Neyland verse. One restaurant or bar that you could put in there. Let's do one restaurant, one bar. Separate but equal.
Okay.
What are you going with?
We could have totally done a full this could have been in depth, but this is okay.
Sure.
We'll start here. This is we might deep dive next week.
Okay, I like that. I'll go first with a bar.
Okay.
Bring Tin Roof back to Knoxville. Put
Love
a Tin
it.
Roof in there.
Love it.
That would be good.
Ivy's. No, that's not my pick though.
Okay, what's Ivy's?
It's an old bar, I guess, on the strip.
Ivy's. Before my time.
Wow,
I think.
you're aging me.
Before your time?
I don't remember Ivy's. What was Ivy's?
I don't know. How do you know about Ivy's?
My dad used to bounce there. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wait a second.
Sound like a cool spot. Seems like it would be fits the vibe down Neyland.
Sure.
Ivy's at Neyland.
I like it. I'm with it.
Okay.
Sorry, I still Go ahead.
Sure, if you need to go fictional bar, because the way you said Ivy's in it, if you want to go fictional, by all means. Because I do want a mechanical bull at some bar.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. I don't know. Tin Roof is a good one. I like that one. I'm thinking.
Thank you.
I mean, let's just get another bomb pizza place.
Another, what a bomb pizza place. Describe what you mean in this context.
Are you going to a restaurant right now?
Are you thinking like
okay,
bar pizza or restaurant pizza?
Let's do
That's
Barley.
what I'm
Let's do
questioning.
Barley's.
Teetering the line, but
I mean, it doesn't have to be Barley's, but like an atmosphere like
A tap room.
Barley's. Yeah.
pool tables, pizza, other
live,
food.
live music.
Landon really wants live music.
Yeah,
Really bad.
really do. I think the new Kearns is missing out because of the lack of live music.
Okay. Fair.
all that space out back, yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume they'll probably start doing.
At some point, right?
And it
I'll play.
should have been
I'll
done.
go.
I don't know what they're waiting on.
Bar.
I think pizza's a great idea though.
I do think it has to be like kind of a little bit of everything. You can't just go like bar. You gotta facilitate some other factors. Can we get a Morgan Wallen bar part 2?
Oh, God. He's gonna try to put his name on something. I know
He might
is.
as well. He's gonna try to do it in like 3 years anyway. So
I know
he
he
might as well
is.
just do it.
He's doing
gonna
a-
have the money after that Nealon show.
Yeah,
Might as well.
yeah. He's doing a lot for the whole baseball program by doing a show and then having everybody buy tickets for Sunday and then do a Friday show.
He yelled about this the whole way out here. Don't get him started. I like the pizza idea. I think it's DeSano's in Nashville. It's phenomenal. Don't see it coming here. That's some of my favorite pizza. This would never be in the Nealon verse. We need one in Knoxville, but Hall's Chop House.
Oh, you want a steakhouse?
Oh, I want Hall's specifically.
Okay.
I love Hall's.
Okay.
Very affordable lunch, by the way. Very affordable lunch. Dinner, nah. Good date night spot, but phenomenal steakhouse.
Okay.
So you want to compete with Ruth's Chris?
Hall's is better than Ruth's Chris.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Never had Hall's. Never had Hall's.
Instead of
We'll
Barley's,
go to Hall's in Nashville one day.
Baker Boys. I know we say no free ads, but
Yeah, Baker Boys is good.
that
I'm
pizza
not-
is those wings.
Their
are incredible,
sauce,
too.
their sauce is a little different.
Did you
Not
try
bad.
The,
Not
did
bad.
you try the wings?
I haven't tried the wings yet. I have to do that. I like the size of their pizza.
Besides
Big
that night
slice.
that we went, have you been there
Where?
to Baker Boys?
No, that was my first time.
Okay,
Really good though.
it was good.
Really good. Massive pizza.
F it. Give me a Hall's in the Nealon verse.
Okay.
I think somewhere that realistically, actually seriousness is somewhere that would be a good mix, like a bunch of tables in the middle. The outside's got TVs everywhere because you gotta assume. So
Yeah,
up at
give us a banger sports bar.
at the Philly Sports Complex, there's this place Xfinity Live, and it's like for anyone that wants to go down there and tailgate all day and then not go to the actual game. It's this huge inside thing, big, massive jumbotron size screen, party floors, big tables that you can rent out. Something like that would be so cool to kind of have a second atmosphere.
I'm
right
thinking
outside the stadium.
a room that's like a theater, and it just has kind of like in Vegas where they have all the TVs of different sports going on at one time. That would be awesome.
A waterfront sports book would go very hard.
Mm.
We're gonna have to pass some legislation, but
I think we can do
Just
it.
don't call it a sport. You just bet on your phone.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
bring
we
your
can
own
already
sports
do
book.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
We just have all the games on
BYO
with the lines.
BS.
yeah.
We might be.
Bring your own
That-
or SB BYOSB. Bring your own sports book. That's the name of the bar.
Yeah, we're gonna copyright. We're gonna trademark this now.
We got to
because
get some investors in on this.
Yeah.
I
Quick.
don't even think we need them.
Okay.
We don't have the. We don't have the
Yeah, we don't need you.
Joey has way more money than I do. Is what we've established. Tonight.
No, I mean we don't have to pay any gambling. There's no. We just got to open a restaurant. I mean, yes, there's still
Yeah, I don't have that money.
No, neither do I. But, we'll find it.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
We will have a huge loan, and it'll pay off in one game day.
We won't even pay
That's
the loan.
fine. Yeah,
We'll just evade it forever.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
we'll find.
We'll John Dutton those creditors.
Yeah,
We'll put it in somebody else's name.
Yes.
we'll find someone that.
We will put it in your wife's
know.
name.
Ooh,
No, what? No.
whose credit should we tank?
Raven's got good credit. We can
I
use
say
that.
we just hey, hey Morgan, we're gonna do this, and put your name on it.
You're going to hire a management company to run it. We're not going to do anything, but we want a
He will
hefty
front
percentage.
the money. We won't put his name on it, and then we open it anyway.
And we won't, just VIP lounge
Yes.
seats every Saturday. That's it.
We're away from banking fraud. We're into country music star fraud. I like that.
Yeah.
Defraud the fraudster.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what would be a great place? Like, honestly, a liquor store, like, open on game days. How much money would that bring in?
That's so dangerous. I mean,
And
dude, that's just a
the
nightmare.
leading cause of death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe just like a beer. Like we have
Stand.
like a beer cave.
Just sure.
Is there a law as to how close a liquor store can be to a body of water?
No, but there probably
There should be.
Probably
Not
should
that
be.
people aren't plenty enough intoxicated that close to the river,
Right.
And train tracks. I mean, not that they're.
If that's
used,
not a
but-
law, I think you came up with a good law. That's
Yeah.
I'm not not pro big government, but that's probably a smart one.
I'll run for politics or for town, whatever,
Yes.
and I will just
Mostly-
I'll funnel money.
I think
in.
if
Mostly
you willingly jump in that water,
Yeah, the goalpost didn't have a choice. It had to
Yeah.
go.
yeah.
I guess if I get a law, like if I, do you think we could jump in front of a team bus and maybe if I do that this season, get a lawsuit, we can probably collect it by like 27 season, finish construction by 28.
Yeah.
We'll be-
I mean, that's probably when this is gonna open up.
That's what exactly. I think we're right on track for that.
Okay.
In all seriousness, we need a Waffle House on that thing. Need it.
Smart.
Because after the game, dude, I would wait 2 hours for or a mega Waffle House. and we
What's
could
like
fit
the
everybody.
easiest food to make? Ooh, I have a great idea.
Ooh.
It's literally just.
Grilled cheeses.
Oh,
I was kind of on that
Okay.
realm, but it's just a bunch of
Don't say paninis.
just a bunch of tiny ovens, and we just make frozen pizzas after the game.
So just another pizza place?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a big pizza guy.
Okay, I'm going to circle back to grilled cheeses.
Okay.
I like your idea of ovens, or in this scenario, grills, I guess, on the wall. Cook your own grilled cheese. It's like the fondue place. Cook your own grilled cheese. You get the
I like
it's a
that.
topping bar. You make your own.
I would
That
like
place would be a mess. You wouldn't be able to hire anybody to clean that up.
Yeah. The cheese would be
We're
everywhere.
running into so many issues.
I would like if the condotel was built tall enough that there's like a premium level bar above.
I think there's going to be.
Can you
On top
see?
of the, I think there's
There,
gonna
no,
be like
there is, but I'm saying like I want it to be tall enough where like you can see the game.
I think there's gonna be a few rooms that can see into Neyland well.
Really, dude? I don't think you're staying on top of G10.
It looks like it's right next. It doesn't look like you could see into it. I don't think you could see the whole game. Is that what you're saying?
I'm thinking like
From the pictures,
Camden
it doesn't look.
Camden
it
Yards. There's a
doesn't look
hotel where you
tall
can
enough.
watch a full game.
I
I think if you could have like the bar, like you got to pay it's a premium like VIP experience, but you get to watch the game from
Yeah.
that bar.
At that point, we will have that money
We could open it, yeah.
after you get
Right,
my
right.
bus.
So we're not making money at this point. We're just spending it to go to the premium bar.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Well, we still profit off of it, and then as owners, we obviously
We're not
naturally-
owning it. We're just going. We're gonna steal your money to go party on top of this bar.
Okay. If I'm up
Yeah,
there,
you're not
if I'm
stealing.
up there,
You're
I
gonna
don't
be a
care
part
who
of
we
it.
bring.
Yeah, we're not stealing. You're gonna be
Yeah.
a part of it. No, I think it's gonna be like I think the top like 2 rooms. Well, probably more than 2, but like top 2 floors, you will be able to see into Neyland.
Which would be cool.
I think you will be.
God, those fireworks can be loud.
Surely you don't build that hotel. Well, the fireworks come from the press box, which yes, but they thankfully don't go off right in front of the south end zone. They go
Correct.
off the north, so you'll be fine there.
Right.
Yeah,
But just,
It will be. You're not wrong.
don't
But
bring a...
people in South Knoxville don't care. They shoot them off any time of the year, so we should be used to it. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know what else is going to be in there. I could see like an airbrush T-shirt place.
Okay.
Oh,
Painted
so we're going
tattoos.
Boardwalk style.
Yeah.
Candy store. That's not a joke. Get me a good candy store. It makes good pralines. Put it there.
Okay.
We need a good candy store in Knoxville.
Kettle corn,
Fudge.
Sure. Yeah. Isn't there a good kettle corn store?
monkey bread.
Yes.
I know Killins has stuff like that. I don't know.
Is that the one in Market Square now?
No.
It's on Gay Street.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that place is still open.
Next to Bobble.
What's the popcorn place on?
That is
like
next to Subway.
Craft Pop or something?
Not even close.
Good popcorn. I'm sure it's expensive, but good popcorn. I've only tried the same.
Good to tell you.
Yeah.
Great, great though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna run through. I'm gonna give off my stupidity real quick. Well, that might take a while. It's Deshaun Foster. Foster?
I got it right here. You want me to play it?
Yeah, sure. You can play it.
I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC. I'm just basically excited, really. That's it. Any questions?
I think he lost a bet. I think he came in last in fantasy football, and they said make that as painfully awkward to the point people feel bad for you. Make it that awkward at your first presser.
I think that's how every press conference should be. You don't answer questions. You get up there, you say, I'm excited. There's somebody else that's in our area. I mean,
I don't know how much you know about our school, but we are in this city.
We are in LA. It's actually part of our name.
Yeah. USC is here, and we're going to play football. And
are we all in on Deshaun Foster after
100%.
I love it.
This is more than
he did say, like,
this is
he's
better
like
than the 8.
He's like, I was just like uncomfortable. He's like,
no,
I just don't like to talk.
No,
I think he's just a football guy,
dude. Well, okay. Here's the thing. Todd Helton is super uncomfortable when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, very uncomfortable, and did well. It was different, Big Ten Media Days and the
Hall of Fame induction.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, prepare a little bit, man.
Yeah, you probably should have wrote something out if you're that bad on a mic.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, he could have just went through like his whole. He could have just read his roster, and people would have been like,
"Yeah,
I'm in."
He probably should have done that.
Yeah, or started reading out of a what do you call it? Yellow book.
Yeah,
Yellow
pages.
Yeah.
It's also a yellow book. You're not wrong.
Phone book. That's what I'm looking for.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you even have those anymore?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I think it's a website now.
Well, it's like hard to get. Cell phone numbers, I guess. Home phone numbers are a lot easier to get.
Yeah. I still know mine. 865-573-6542. Somebody call that number. If they answer, say, you stole this number from the Mitchells. And hang up.
I don't really have. I had Deshaun Foster.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
I have a
and
few,
Matt
but
Rule.
They will stand the test of time, and we're closing in on the end of hour 2. We're gonna get you guys out of here, and I'm probably gonna eat some dinner because I haven't yet, and then go to bed because I'm tired.
Yep.
I've got a lot to do tonight.
Yep. Matt Rule said, I think 4 teams from this league should get in every year because this is the best league. This is the NFL of college football.
Sure, that was smart. Probably worse than Deshaun Foster, honestly.
Yeah, you did so well in the NFL that, whatever.
That he came to the league just as good as the NFL. Yeah.
Perfect. Should work out perfectly. Guys, I got one person to tell you about. Go check out Roback, roback.com. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off your first purchase. They have the best quality clothing. Go check them out. Again, promo code More Important Issues for 20% off your first purchase.
Appreciate you guys listening. I'm going to just real quick, Grade A Grounds Coffee, great sponsors. We'll definitely need them tomorrow morning. You probably will too. You're staying up late with us. Go check them out, gradeagrounds.com. You get 10% off on all your purchases using promo code GOVOLS, capital G, capital V, GOVOLS. Check out the Gold Medal Blend. Volsicle coming up. We really appreciate Grade A Grounds. Excited for what's ahead with them and our partnership with them. Make sure you go check out Grade A.